What if the world didn't drift into division, but was quietly engineered to split in two again, and we just didn't notice? Not with a single speech, not with a declaration of war, but with supply chains breaking, alliances tightening, and trust evaporating. Because if you look closely at the patterns of history, one truth keeps repeating. Global unity is often just the calm before separation. And right now, the cracks are back. This is the Fate Flip history, where we don't just study the past, we rewrite it. Imagine this timeline, not decades from now, not a distant future, but a subtle shift beginning in the early 2020s. At first, it doesn't feel like a division, it feels like strategic independence. Nations begin reshaping trade, governments start talking about resilience, technology becomes sovereign, and energy becomes secure. It all sounds responsible, even necessary. But here's where it becomes unsettling. Every empire in history has used the same language right before it closed its doors. Now follow the butterfly effect, a semiconductor shortage, a war that disrupts energy routes, a financial system shaken by sanctions. Individually, these are crises. Together, they form a pattern. One bloc begins to consolidate economically, militarily, and digitally. Another bloc does the same, but with different values, different systems, and a completely different vision of control. And then something no one predicted happened. The world didn't split overnight, it aligned. Countries didn't choose sides publicly, they adjusted quietly. Trade agreements started favoring trusted partners. Technology ecosystems became incompatible. Payment systems fragmented. Suddenly, you're not just choosing a product, you're choosing a system. But the real shift wasn't geopolitical, it was psychological. Because division doesn't begin with borders, it begins with perception. People start seeing the world as us and them again. Media narratives diverge. Truth itself becomes regional. And the most terrifying part is that most people don't even realize it's happening. Now zoom in. A small business owner in Europe struggles to import materials. A programmer in Asia finds their software restricted by invisible firewalls. A student in Africa notices their education platform suddenly unavailable. There is no war, no official announcement, just a slow and silent separation. This is how modern blocks are built, not with walls, but with systems you can't cross. History has seen this rhythm before, not in identical form, but in a familiar pattern. Periods of globalization followed by fragmentation, cooperation followed by suspicion, integration followed by division. The pattern feels almost biological, as if systems naturally expand and then contract. But this time, something is different. This division is not just political or economic, it is technological. Two digital worlds begin to form. Different internets, different standards, different realities. Information flows differently depending on where you are. Algorithms shape perception based on alignment. Slowly, without force, reality itself begins to split. But here's where it becomes even more disturbing. What if this division is not a failure of the system, but the system working exactly as intended? Unified worlds are unpredictable. Diverse systems are harder to control, but divided worlds are stable, predictable, manageable. And then something unexpected happens. People begin to adapt. A new generation grows up inside these blocks. They don't remember a unified world. To them, this is normal. Different currencies, different narratives, different truths. The idea of a single global system starts to feel naive, almost unrealistic.
Now pause for a moment and think. If you were born into a divided world, would you even question it? Or would you defend it? Because history doesn't just shape systems, it shapes minds. And once minds are shaped, systems become permanent. But let's go deeper. Division always creates pressure. Economic competition intensifies. Technological races accelerate. Military strategies evolve in silence. Not open conflict, but something colder, more controlled. A world where confrontation is constant, but invisible. Cyber disruptions, financial manipulation, strategic resource control. Wars without battlefields. And here's the paradox. The more divided the world becomes, the more interconnected the risks are. One disruption affects everyone. One miscalculation spreads instantly. So you end up with a system that is both separated and dangerously dependent at the same time. Then comes a moment, a crisis that tests everything. It doesn't have to be a war. It could be a financial collapse, a technological failure, or an environmental shock. Something that forces the blocks to choose, cooperate or double down on division. And history suggests something uncomfortable. In moments of fear, systems rarely unite. They isolate. And when they isolate, they harden. Now imagine the consequences. Travel becomes restricted not by geography, but by alignment. Information becomes filtered not by truth, but by system. Opportunities become defined not by ability, but by block. A world where your future depends on which side you were born into. And this is where it becomes personal. Because this isn't just about nations, it's about you. Your access, your information, your reality. Then something subtle happens. People stop noticing what's missing. Humans adapt faster than systems change. What once felt like limitation becomes normal. What once felt like division becomes identity. And that's the moment division becomes permanent. But now let's flip the perspective. This is the fate flip history. What if this division isn't inevitable? What if there was a moment, a single decision, where things could have gone differently? A treaty that wasn't signed, a policy that wasn't implemented, a crisis that was handled with cooperation instead of fear. Because history is not a straight line. It is a series of choices layered on top of each other. And sometimes, one choice changes everything. The uncomfortable truth is that those choices are rarely visible when they happen. They feel small, technical, temporary, until they are not. Until they reshape the world. So now we return to the present. Look around. Supply chains are shifting. Alliances are tightening. Technologies are separating. Does it feel like a divided world? Or does it still feel like normal change? Because that is how it always begins. Not with a collapse, but with a transition that no one questions. And maybe the most dangerous part of all this is not the division itself, it is how easily we accept it. Because once division becomes invisible, it becomes unstoppable. So here is the question you need to ask yourself. Are we witnessing the early stages of a new global split, or are we already living inside it? And if we are, would we even recognize the moment it became irreversible? Because history doesn't announce its turning points. It hides them in plain sight. And by the time we understand them, they have already changed everything. Was this division inevitable? Or was it just one decision away from never happening? Tell me what you think.